I threw my wedding ring at him, and it bounced off his chest like it meant nothing. The metal hits the hardwood floor with a sound so small it shouldn't matter, but it echoes through our tiny apartment like a gunshot. My hands are shaking. My throat is raw from screaming. And Marcus, my husband, the man I promised forever to, just stands there in his faded jeans and that ridiculous thrift store flannel, watching me with those calm, unreadable eyes that used to make me feel safe. Now they just make me furious. Say something, I hiss, my voice breaking. Defend yourself. Tell me I'm wrong. He doesn't. The silence between us is suffocating, thick with 3 years of resentment I've been swallowing down. 3 years of working double shifts while he pursues his passion projects. 3 years of eating ramen while my friends vacation in Bali. 3 years of watching my mother's disappointed face every Thanksgiving when we show up in our beaten Honda Civic while my sister arrives in her husband's Tesla. I'm 32 years old. And I'm tired. I can't do this anymore, I whisper, and the words taste like failure, like defeat, like the death of every romantic notion I ever had about love conquering all. Marcus moves then, just slightly. His jaw tightens. There's something in his expression I can't read, something that flickers and dies before I can catch it. Can't do what, Claire? This. I gesture wildly at our cramped living room, at the secondhand furniture, at the stack of bills on the kitchen counter that I've been juggling like a circus act. I can't keep drowning while you pretend everything is fine. I can't keep being the only adult in this marriage. I never asked you to. You didn't have to ask. The words explode out of me. You let me. You let me carry everything while you waste time on investments that go nowhere, on business ideas that fail, on dreams that don't pay rent. His face goes very still. My investments. Your failures, I correct. Cruel now. Past the point of caring how much it hurts. Marcus, we're broke. We're actually broke. I had to borrow money from my sister last month just to fix the car. Do you know how humiliating that was? Something crosses his face, pain maybe, or something sharper. You didn't tell me that. Because you would have felt bad, and feeling bad doesn't pay bills. I'm crying now, hot, angry tears that blur my vision. I need a partner, not another dependent. I need someone who wants more out of life than just existing. The apartment feels smaller suddenly, the walls pressing in. Outside, the city hums with evening traffic, with lives being lived, with people who made better choices than I did at 29 when I said I do to a man whose biggest ambition was being happy. Marcus picks up the ring. It looks tiny in his palm, insignificant. When he looks at me, there's something in his eyes I've never seen before, something ancient and resigned, like he's made a decision he's been putting off for too long. If that's what you want, he says quietly, then go. I wait for him to fight for me, to argue, to promise he'll change, get a better job, be different, to remind me that we used to laugh until we cried, that we used to make love like the world was ending, that we used to be us. He doesn't, and that somehow is what breaks me completely. I leave that night with 2 suitcases and the taste of regret already forming in my mouth. I don't look back at the man standing in the doorway of our apartment. I don't see the way he watches me go, his hand still closed around my wedding ring. I don't see the way he pulls out his phone and makes a single call, his voice steady and businesslike. It's done. Transfer everything back. She's gone. 6 months later, I see him across a crowded restaurant and my entire world tilts sideways. He's wearing a suit. Not just any suit. A charcoal Tom Ford that probably costs more than I make in 3 months. His hair is styled differently, swept back in a way that makes him look older, sharper, like someone used to boardrooms and power lunches. He's laughing at something the woman beside him says, and even from across the room I can see the confidence radiating off him like heat. This isn't my Marcus. My Marcus wore hoodies and sneakers. My Marcus shopped at Goodwill. My hands go numb around my wine glass. Claire, my date, Derek, a perfectly nice accountant my sister set me up with, touches my arm. You okay? You look like you've seen a ghost. I have. I'm seeing the ghost of my marriage, and it's wearing designer clothes and looking more alive than I've felt in months. Marcus turns then, as if sensing me. Our eyes meet across the restaurant. The air punches out of my lungs. For 3 heartbeats, neither of us moves. Then his expression shudders, polite, distant, like I'm a stranger he vaguely recognizes from somewhere insignificant. He turns back to his companion, dismissing me. The casual cruelty of it slices through me like broken glass. I excuse myself, stumbling toward the bathroom on legs that don't quite work. My reflection in the mirror is pale, shocked. I grip the marble counter and try to breathe through the panic clawing up my throat. He looked successful, expensive, like everything I accused him of not being. My phone buzzes. A text from my sister, "Call me, now." I dial with shaking fingers. She answers on the first ring. "Please tell me you're not at Marcello's right now," she says without preamble. "How did you?" "Because Marcus Hayes is there with Jennifer fucking Chen, the tech investor, and Claire, have you not been reading the news?" "What news?" My voice sounds distant, mechanical. The pause that follows is too long. "Oh my God, you really don't know." "Know what?" "Your ex-husband, Claire. Marcus sold his stake in DataStream 6 weeks ago for $43 million. It's been all over the business sections. He's been investing quietly for years. That company everyone thought was his hobby? It just went public and..." The phone slips from my hand, clattering against the sink. 43 million. The number doesn't make sense. It can't. Not Marcus, who never had money for new clothes. Not Marcus, who let me work myself into exhaustion. Not Marcus, who lived in that cramped apartment like poverty was a lifestyle choice unless it was a choice. The realization hits me like cold water. He was testing me. All those years of struggle, of me complaining about money, of me leaving him because he wasn't successful enough. He was watching. Waiting to see if I'd love him without the money. Waiting to see if I was different from everyone else who'd probably chased him for his wealth. And I failed. I failed spectacularly. When I return to the table, I can't feel my face. Derek is talking about tax law or quarterly reports or something equally meaningless. Across the restaurant, Marcus is standing now, helping his date with her coat. He's taller in those shoes, more commanding. Everything about his body language speaks of power and certainty. He knows I'm watching. I can tell by the way he pauses, by the microscopic tension in his shoulders. But he doesn't look at me again. They walk past our table on their way out. The woman, Jennifer, is stunning, all sharp intelligence and expensive perfume. She touches Marcus's arm with casual intimacy, and he smiles at her. Actually smiles, warm and genuine, in a way he stopped smiling at me somewhere around year 2 of our marriage. As they pass, Marcus's eyes flick to mine for just a second. There's nothing in them. No anger, no longing, no satisfaction at my obvious shock. Just a cool, polite indifference that tells me I've become exactly what I feared. Irrelevant. The host holds the door open for them, and they disappear into the night, into a life I'll never be part of. I excuse myself again. This time I don't come back. I wait 3 days before I break. 3 days of obsessively Googling his name, finding article after article about Marcus Hayes, tech investor, philanthropist, the quiet genius who saw potential where others saw risk. Photos of him at charity galas, at startup launch parties, always in those perfect suits, always with that slight smile that suggests he knows something you don't. There are pictures of us from our wedding. Someone dug them up. The comments are brutal. She left him poor and he got rich and karma is real and most cutting. Gold digger failed the test. They're not wrong. And that's what makes it unbearable. Thursday evening, I find myself outside his new apartment building. Not our old place, this is downtown, all glass and steel. The kind of building with a doorman and probably a waiting list measured in years. I shouldn't be here. This is stalker behavior, pathetic behavior, the behavior of someone who can't accept that she made the worst mistake of her life. But I press the buzzer anyway. Yes? The doorman's voice is professionally neutral. I'm here to see Marcus Hayes. My voice cracks on his name. Is he expecting you? No, but I was... What? Your wife, your biggest regret? Tell him Claire is here. He'll know. The silence stretches so long I'm sure he's going to send me away. Then top floor. He says to come up. The elevator ride feels eternal. My reflection in the mirrored walls looks haunted. Dark circles under my eyes, hair I forgot to style. The dress I've worn 3 days in a row because nothing feels right anymore. I look like grief personified. The doors open directly into his penthouse. It's obscene. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Furniture that's actual art. Lighting that transforms the space into something from a magazine spread. And there, standing by those massive windows with his back to me, is Marcus. He's in dark slacks and a white dress shirt, sleeves rolled to his elbows. Even his forearms look different now, stronger, more defined, like he spent the last 6 months transforming himself into someone I wouldn't recognize. Nice place, I manage. My voice sounds small in all this space, thank you. He doesn't turn around. Why are you here, Claire? The question is so direct it winds me. I saw you. At the restaurant, I know. You were testing me. The words come out accusatory, hurt, all those years. You had money and you let me think we were struggling. I did. He turns then and the full force of his gaze pins me in place. I wanted to know if you loved me or what I could give you. I got my answer. That's not fair. Fair? He laughs, but there's no humor in it. You left me, Claire. You threw your ring at me and told me I wasn't enough, that I'd never be enough. You didn't leave because I was cruel or unfaithful or a bad husband. You left because I didn't make enough money. I was struggling. We were never struggling. His voice cuts through mine like a blade. Every bill was paid. Every need was met. You were working yourself to death because you wanted more. More status, more things, more proof that you'd married well enough to impress your mother. The truth of it makes me flinch. I didn't know. You didn't ask. He moves closer and I can smell his cologne now, something expensive and unfamiliar. Not once in 3 years did you ask about my investments, my work, what I was actually doing. You just decided I was a failure and resented me for it. My eyes burn with tears. I'm sorry, are you? He's close enough now that I could reach out and touch him, close enough that I can see the new hardness in his features, the way success has sharpened him into someone dangerous. Or are you sorry you left a wealthy man? I'm sorry I hurt you, his jaw tightens. For a moment, just a moment, I see the old Marcus underneath, the one who used to look at me like I was magic. Then he steps back, putting distance between us again. I loved you, he says quietly, more than I've ever loved anyone. I would have given you everything. Then why didn't you? The question bursts out of me, desperate. Why did you have to test me? Why couldn't you just... Because everyone wants something from me, Claire. His voice is tired now, almost gentle. My family wanted money. My friends wanted connections. Every woman I dated before you wanted the lifestyle. You were supposed to be different. You were different at first, but then I became just like them. I finish, the words ash in my mouth. He doesn't deny it. I don't leave, I should. God knows I should turn around and walk out with whatever dignity I have left. But my feet won't move and Marcus doesn't ask me to go. We stand there in his ridiculous penthouse. 2 people who used to share everything, now strangers in expensive lighting. Do you remember our first date? I ask suddenly, desperately. Something flickers in his expression. The taco truck in the rain. We waited 45 minutes for food and it was completely worth it. I'm crying now, not bothering to hide it. You told me about your plans to invest in green energy, and I thought you were the most passionate person I'd ever met. I didn't care about money then. I cared about you. What changed? His voice is soft but unyielding. I don't know. The admission feels like ripping out my own heart. My sister's husband bought her a house. My mother kept making comments about potential and providing. My friends started pitying me. And somewhere along the way I started believing their version of success mattered more than ours. Marcus moves to the bar, pours himself something amber and expensive. He doesn't offer me one. I watched you stop looking at me the way you used to. Watched you start seeing an ATM instead of a person. Do you know what that feels like? To realize the woman you love is counting your failures and finding you wanting. I was scared, I whisper. Scared of being 35 and broke. Scared of having kids in that tiny apartment. Scared of becoming my mother who stayed with a man who never gave her the life she wanted. So you became her anyway. He takes a slow sip, just from the other direction. The observation cuts deep because it's true. My mother resented my father for not being ambitious enough. I resented Marcus for the same thing. Different circumstances, same poison. I was so angry at you, I continue, voice shaking. But I think I was really angry at myself. For choosing love over security. For believing we could make it work on just feelings. We could have. Marcus sets down his glass with careful precision. We had everything we needed. But you needed everyone else to see it too. You needed validation I couldn't give you without revealing everything. Would you have? Eventually. He's quiet for a long moment, staring out at the city lights. On our 5th anniversary. I had the whole thing planned. A trip to Bali, where your friends always went. A new house. Everything you complained about not having. I was going to show you that I'd been building a life for us the whole time, that your trust meant something. The air leaves my lungs. Our 5th anniversary was next month. Was. He agrees softly. I move closer without thinking, drawn by the gravity of everything we destroyed. Marcus, don't. He turns to face me and the look in his eyes is devastating. Don't ask me to forgive you. Don't ask me to try again. You broke something in me, Claire. You made me question whether anyone could ever love me for just me. I did love you. Past tense. His smile is bitter. Exactly. But the words die in my throat because they sound hollow even to me. Do I still love him? Or do I love the idea of him? The potential I was too blind to see before. Marcus closes the distance between us in 2 strides. He's close enough now that I can feel the heat of him. Smell the traces of cologne and something underneath that's just him. His hand comes up and for a second I think he might touch me. Instead, his fingers hover just beside my face, not quite making contact. I wanted to hate you, he whispers. After you left, I wanted to hate you so badly. But all I felt was empty. I'm so sorry. The words are useless, inadequate, but they're all I have. His hand drops. Sorry doesn't change anything. Sorry doesn't give me back 3 years of pretending to be someone I wasn't, just to prove a point that didn't need proving. Then what do? I'm begging now, shameless. Tell me what to do to fix this. You can't. He steps back and the loss of his proximity feels like abandonment all over again. That's what you don't understand. Some things once broken don't go back together. They just end. I don't accept that. You don't have a choice. His phone buzzes on the counter. He glances at it and something in his expression shifts, softens maybe or lightens. I have dinner plans, he says, not looking at me. Jennifer is waiting, Jennifer. The beautiful, successful woman who probably never questioned his worth. Who probably sees exactly what I was too blind to appreciate. Are you happy with her? The question hurts to ask. Marcus finally meets my eyes. I'm trying to be. Not yes, not no. Just trying. Which somehow feels like the saddest answer of all. I walk past him toward the elevator, each step a small death. But at the doors I stop. Turn back. That night I left, I say, voice steady now. You could have told me. About the money, the investments, everything. You could have stopped me at the door and shown me bank statements or contracts or whatever proof you needed. But you didn't. You just let me go. Marcus leans against his kitchen counter, backlit by the city. Would it have changed anything? Or would you have stayed for the wrong reasons? I guess we'll never know. I press the elevator button. But Marcus, you tested whether I loved you without money. You never tested whether you loved me enough to be honest. The elevator arrives with a soft ding. I step inside, watch his face through the closing doors. He's still standing there, frozen, like I've said something he didn't expect. The lobby is empty when I reach it. The doorman nods politely, holding the door to the street. Outside, the city is alive with Friday night energy. Couples laughing, friends meeting for drinks, lives being lived by people who didn't ruin the best thing they ever had. My phone rings. Unknown number. Hello? It's me. Marcus's voice is rough, like he's been running. Don't hang up. I stop walking. In the background, I can hear traffic, the sounds of the city. Where are you? Downstairs. I watched you leave from my window and He pauses and I hear him breathing hard. I need to tell you something. What? The test. It wasn't just about you. His words come faster now, urgent. It was about me too. About whether I could love someone who wanted me to be different than I was. About whether I could trust anyone with the truth of who I am. My heart is pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. And we both failed, Claire. Not just you. Both of us. I turn around. He's standing 50 feet away, still in his dress shirt and slacks, no jacket despite the cool evening air. His hair is messed up from running and he looks more like my Marcus than he has in 6 months. Jennifer is a business associate, he says, closing the distance between us. We're not together. We're not anything. I've been using her as a shield because every time I go out, I'm terrified I'll see you and feel everything all over again. Marcus, I'm not asking you to come back. He's in front of me now, close enough to touch. I'm not asking for another chance. I just need you to know that I wasn't honest either. I hid behind my test because I was scared of being seen, of being known, And maybe if I'd been braver, if I'd trusted you with the truth from the beginning, we might have made it, I finish. Or we might have failed anyway. His smile is sad, resigned, but at least we would have failed honestly. The moment stretches between us, full of everything we said and didn't say, did and didn't do. I could reach out right now, could touch his face, kiss him, beg for another chance. But we'd just be two people playing pretend, trying to resurrect something that died from neglect and pride. I hope you find someone who loves all of you, I say finally. Not just the parts that are convenient. Not just when it's easy. I hope you find someone who's enough, he replies, just as they are, without needing to change them into something else. We stand there for another breath, two people who loved each other badly, who failed each other in different ways. Then Marcus leans forward and presses a kiss to my forehead. Gentle, final goodbye. Take care of yourself, Claire. He walks away. This time I let him. I watch him disappear into his building, into his expensive lobby, into a life I could have shared if I'd been different. If we'd been different. But we weren't, and that's the truth we both have to live with now. 3 months later, I get an invitation in the mail. Heavy cardstock, elegant calligraphy. Marcus Hayes and Jennifer Chen invite you to celebrate their engagement. I don't go. But I send a gift, a vintage compass inscribed with words I hope he'll understand. For finding your true north. A week later, a package arrives at my door. Inside is a leather journal, expensive and beautiful, with a note in his familiar handwriting. For writing a better story. I open it to the first page. There's a check inside made out to me. The amount makes my breath catch. Enough to pay off my debts, start over, build something real. And underneath, in his precise script, never a test. Always a gift. Be happy, Claire, I cash it. Not because I need his money. I've been learning to stand on my own, finally. But because I understand what he's really giving me. Permission to let go. Permission to stop punishing myself for failing a test neither of us should have designed in the first place. Sometimes late at night, I wonder if he thinks about me. If he remembers the good parts, the laughter, the hope, the way we used to be before money and pride got in the way. If maybe in some other universe we got it right. But in this one, we're just two people who loved each other badly. And somehow, we both survived it.